Giancarlo Romero, you are working with Carlo Ratti Associati in Turin. So you are in charge, especially in innovation and strategy. You did a keynote on the future of malls and shopping city. What is your vision about shopping in a city?
Well, I believe that it's a way to bring back commerce from the digital to the physical. So I think it's a good way of compromising between how technology is changing our cities and what has been the motor of cities all along. So I believe that it's a very important thing to have in city centers in order to make them lively and in order to guarantee that people are continuing to be out in the streets and actually enjoying the city as they have been doing so long.
Do you think that the mall is going to remain a model for shopping, or will it disappear anyway?
I believe that the mall, as we know it, like the ideas of the American mall mainly, and like that it came to Europe lately, it will change. I don't know if it will disappear completely because it still offers a concentrated way of shopping that can be beneficial to families. But I believe that the more that this commerce can come to the city centers and like actually activate the life outside of these boxes that are malls, it will be better. So I think they won't die completely, but I will hope for city centers to become more lively with commerce as it was in the past.
Okay. If center cities are becoming more active, what is the consequence toward mobility and the rest of the city, the rest of the dimensions of the city?
I think it's a very positive consequence actually, because there is this misconception perhaps that having more people shopping in the city center will bring more cars. But actually, if we design cities in a way that are more easily accessible by public transport and are more pedestrian oriented, maybe more bike oriented, it's going to be a positive thing for mobility, because we're going to keep cars where they need to be in parking lots and people will be walking on the streets as they were meant to be in the very beginning.
And more widely, what is the vision of the city which you would like to share with the French mayors, because there is an election very soon in France and a lot of them are still thinking about what they could, how they could build their program. So what are maybe the one or two priorities according to you to prepare the future and maybe the environmental issues which we have to face? So what should they think about first?
So I think it goes on two things, and one is what the city is made of. So I think that the city is made of people actually that live it. So the main focus should be how people are living the city and making it a livable place again. So a little bit focus more on the person, focus less, for example, on the cars, on the buildings, on a little bit more on what makes a space livable. So I think the first focus should be on that, on returning the city to the citizen. And on the other hand, I think there is a huge thing of this, a huge consequence that comes directly with what you were saying about sustainability, about environment, about climate change, that has to do with making cities more resilient towards the changes that happen in time. So I think a little bit what has been happening so far is that cities are designed for a determined moment in time. When they're done, they're already in the past. And if we were to design to the future, we're not designing sort of spaceships or floating cars. What we're designing is cities that can adapt to changes. So flexible spaces, more connected to nature, and in general, if they're more connected to nature, natural disasters are less likely to happen.
What are the cities which are the most inspiring at the moment, which have a global pattern to change the city? Which are your very best at the moment?
That is a very, very difficult question because it depends on which sense. I believe that using the technology for the things that I've been telling you, so making it more livable and connecting back to nature, I would talk about Singapore. I think they're making a very good effort of mixing technology with livability, so actually focusing on what the experience of the citizen should be in a city. And on the same way, I think you can mention even cities like Paris that have been having a continuous effort on making, for example, the Quel more livable, or spaces along the river. In the same way, you can talk about cities like, I don't know, for example, Milan is making a huge effort on making the center livable again by using urban regeneration. That is a very interesting method to bring life back to old city centers here in Europe. Like that, you can go on and on, but I would go with those top three. So it's places that we know very well as well in the office.
Okay, and to finish, maybe can you tell us what you think about what the architects can do for the city and for the mayors especially, because as an expert you have a lot of bring, but there is a problem of governance which you have to address every day, I guess. And what is your vision at Carlo Ratti Associati regarding this issue?
I think yeah, there are two things. I'm gonna mix a little bit what my personal vision is with the vision of the office, because I believe that architects have a role in making decisions that have not had yet. So architects have always received a project that they have to complete, and I believe that architects should be in the table discussing what you were saying, governance issues. A little bit issues that not always have to do with numbers, for example, so that have to do a little bit more with the experience that the people may have, or how the space should be defined for people on a more conceptual level, that is not necessarily whether it will be economically feasible or not, or whether it will make certain numbers happen or not. On the other hand, from our point of view, the architect has like as an office, we have a strong belief in the architect as a mediator between the different parts of the discussion. So an architect as the, I would say, aggregator of opinions that come from the government, that come from the technical side, that come from the economical side, and that come also from the people, most importantly from the people in the end. So it's a little bit connected, but also has two parts of it.
Okay, what are you working on 2020? The things to follow at Carlo Ratti Associati? Your big project.
Yeah. I think the biggest project that we're doing now is the Italian pavilion at Dubai. So for the Expo 2020, we actually won the competition to design the Italian pavilion. It's a very interesting design in which we use three holes of shapes to make the roof of the pavilion. So it was a design that was meant to evoke Mediterranean sailors that go and explore the world, so bringing Italian culture to Dubai. At the same time, we're starting a new building in Milan next to the Prada Foundation. We're doing a building also here in Nanterre. And I think it's important to see what we will bring to the Design Week in Milan, that is in our territory, and we're always happy to have some innovation, some really cutting-edge innovation in there.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.